Steel City Showdown, the University, the U. Now, see, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Destroyer James Davenport. Now, let's talk about tonight. Let's talk about tonight's episode of the U. Right now, I walked out there against Jelani. Now, see, when I speared you last week in that ladder match as you were getting ready to knock Draven off the top of that ladder, like I told you, was to make a point that if it wasn't me getting that opportunity, I was going to let him have that opportunity to hold that title and prove that he was really a worthy champion. I told him to go out there and keep that championship. But see, Draven, look what happens when the Destroyer, James Davenport, wasn't there to save you. Look what happens when I'm not there to drive through. You don't have your title. But see, that isn't going to change my goal. That isn't going to change my plans here at the university. My plans when I walked into Steel City was to be the Destroyer, to be the NASCAR driver, to continue to drive through every person I go against. Now, see, when I'm looking at the rankings right now, I made my way back up to the 3rd spot. But see, 2 people are in front of me. 2 people are behind the new champion, Kai Cash, which, Kai, I will be coming for you. Don't worry about that, because that valedictorian championship will be on the Destroyer's shoulders one way or another. I've already told everybody. But see, Jelani, I told you exactly what was going to happen in this match. I told everybody that steps across the ring from the Destroyer James Davenport, 2 things will happen, and 2 things are guaranteed. I will drive through you with a NASCAR driver, and I will take you on one of the most destructive trips through victory lane. And see, Jelani, tonight I drove through you with a NASCAR driver, dropped you with a victory lane, and then I did what I do best. I picked you up on my shoulders for a second victory lane, dropped you face first into that mat, and busted you wide open for the 1, 2, 3. But now it's time for me to get to the 2 men above me at the 1 and 2 spot. Because how fitting is it that the 1 and 2 spot are Kareem Nelson and Ginger Flame, the 2 people who I've already beaten on this destructive run that I am on. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I've already beaten both of these men, and I will do it again. See, Kareem is already in a match going for that U.S. title. Will he get it and move up to the main roster? We will see. Time will only tell. Supremacy will tell us what will happen in that match. Looks like Ginger Flame has gotten himself the valedictorian match at Supremacy. So it's looking like it's going to either be Ginger Flame or Kai Cash, who the Destroyer James Davenport is going to set his sights on. Because like I've told you, that valedictorian championship will be on my shoulders, and I will be the champion. And see, you don't have to like it. I don't even give a shit if you respect it. But see, here's the key thing. you are going to feel it, because it does not matter who steps across from me. I'm going to drive through you, and then I'm going to take you on that destructive trip to victory lane, dropping you face first on the mat. And that's all my goal is. So, ladies and gentlemen, the U, Kai Cash, Kareem Nelson, go out there and win that U.S. title. Move up to the main roster. But if you don't, you will be having a hell of a time, because when the Destroyer, James Davenport, puts his focus on you, you already know what happens, because it was already a 1, 2, 3. The Destroyer, James Davenport, wins. Now, see, Kareem, you come out here and you play this whole little, oh, you only won by a roll-up. It ain't like it's nothing. That ain't nothing. You're supposed to be the Destroyer. You're supposed to beat me off a finisher. But see how weak that argument sounds? Because, yeah, I may have beat you with a roll-up. But see here, Kareem, you better hope you win that U.S. title, because I'm just going to embarrass you again. Because how embarrassing is it that you want to act like a roll-up is the weakest way, but you couldn't even kick out of it? That's the key thing here, Kareem. You couldn't even kick out of a simple roll-up. See, and that's my veteran instinct. That's me being the veteran in this game. I ain't just some dumb rookie who's just hot-shotting it for a finisher finish. I'm going to walk out here, and if I see the opening, I'm going to take it. Any means necessary. Like I showed in my Arkham race way back when at Talladega, it don't matter on the track. I will spin you and put you in the wall and make you roll. Just like in this ring. If I'm beating the living shit out of you, and we're going to war, and you're beating the living shit out of me, but I see an opening after I drove through you with the NASCAR driver, took you on that trip through victory lane, and then 2 moves later, I decide I'm going to roll you up, I'm going to do it. Because see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and Kareem, you learned it the most important lesson. It doesn't matter. All that matters is I'm going out there, and I will find a way. And that's what I did in that match. I knew you couldn't kick out of my roll-up. I knew I had you beat dead to rights. I knew that all it would have took was me to pin you, and it was over. I could have done one more move to you. Any simple move. Could have punched you in the face. I could have picked you up, slammed you into the mat, and pinned you. I could have super kicked you. I could have done anything. Any move in my arsenal and pinned you in that moment. But you know what I felt? I was sitting there as I was going through my motions, hit you with a move, you stood up, and I just saw it in your eyes. I knew you were finished. So Kareem, you can go out there and say, oh, it was just a roll-up. But just be honest. You didn't have it. You couldn't kick out of the roll-up because you were dead to rights. The Destroyer, James Davenport, had taken you to your limit. You were sitting there in 4th gear, trying to get into 5th, trying to get into 6th. But see, the problem was, once you hit 4th gear, you just got stuck and kept grinding that gear. You couldn't get out of 4th gear. You couldn't get into 5th. And you just kept grinding and grinding and grinding and hit the wall. And what did I do? Rolled you up for the 1, 2, 3. So ladies and gentlemen, don't matter if it's Kareem Nelson next week at the university. It don't matter if it's Ginger Flame. And it don't matter if it's Kai Cash. I'm going to be doing 2 things in this match, win, lose, or draw. I'm going to drive through you with a NASCAR driver, and I am going to take you, ladies and gentlemen, on the most destructive trip through victory lane when I put you on my shoulders. and drop you on your face. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only NASCAR driver, the Destroyer, James Davenport.